This is the Hunt Quietly podcast. I'm Matt Ranella. Hey, dear listener, I want to see if I can get your help with something. You know, it's an incontrovertible fact that high quality, publicly accessible, non-pay hunting is in free fall decline in this country. And we're trying to do something about that, man. That's one of the main things we focus on in this podcast. Additionally, we also have a nonprofit, Hunters for Access, that tries to counteract negative trends in hunting access by showing appreciation to landowners that are enrolled in state-run programs that allow public hunting access. And we got a lot of events coming up, man. And some of these events cost money. We're hosting appreciation dinners to support access in Wyoming through the Access Yes program. We're hosting another appreciation dinner in Kansas in support of the walk-in hunter access program. We have multiple appreciation dinners that we're attending where we're going to be giving out a lot of very nice door prizes in Montana. And we need your help with this, man. Like, hunters should just be behind Hunters for Access. Even if you don't live in those states I mentioned. We have things going on in other states as well, and we're trying to get chapters up and running in other states to support other state-run programs. But even if you never hunt in a state that's been touched by Hunters for Access, there's still a strong case to be made that you should be supporting our organization because it's all connected, man. The higher quality the hunting is in state A, the less likely people are going to be to crowd and lease and buy up exclusive hunting property in state B. It's all connected. We're all in this together. When we improve hunt quality in one state, it has all kinds of positive spillover effects in other states. So, yeah, it's just the case that hunters throughout this country should support Hunters for Access. And there's really two ways you can do this. You can go to huntersforaccess.org and make a direct contribution there. And I really, really encourage you to do this. And another thing you could do if you wanted to support the Hunt Quietly message, in addition to supporting Hunters for Access, you can go to huntquietly.org and buy our merch. When you buy our merch, 100% of the proceeds go to supporting Hunters for Access. And Hunters for Access is not a traditional quote-unquote hunting conservation nonprofit where it's like they do something positive with 20 cents on the dollar and use the other 80 cents for R3 and advertising and salaries. 0% of the money you give to Hunters for Access goes to salaries, advertising, R3. 100% goes to showing appreciation to landowners in this country that provide public hunting access. If you're concerned about the future of hunting in this country, high quality, publicly accessible, non-pay hunting, then I can't think of a better way to direct your philanthropic expenditures than by supporting Hunters for Access. So please, man, help take the stress off of trying to keep this nonprofit going and get these events funded and make a contribution. I really appreciate it. Thanks.
It used to be like if if you said you were from Wyoming to anybody, everybody would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," or "What's in Wyoming?" or "That's gotta suck. I've never even heard of that place." But now that hunting has become so popular, everybody's like, "Oh, you're lucky, man. Wyoming's the new cool thing," you know? But,
Yeah.
and everybody wants to move here and be here. So I'm very protective over being here because there's not a lot of, and that's my name online is Wyoming Native. And there's not a lot of natives in, not Native American, but just a native of Wyoming. And there's not a
That's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, Wyoming
Okay.
native. Yes, sir. So, um, there's not a lot of us that are from here. We're the least populated state in the nation, and like I
Is that so? Really?
yeah, least
Okay,
populated
that
state,
makes sense, I suppose. Yeah.
the very least, and one of the largest states and the least populated. So we're very, very rural. So, I've got blood, sweat, and tears here, and I chose to stay here and make a living here. And not only that, I I have a good foundation of knowing what other places like. I've lived all over. I've lived in Texas. I've lived in New Mexico. I've lived in North Dakota. I've lived in South Dakota. Um, Never lived in Montana, and then I've lived.
You're a pretty young guy, so I got to think you were following your folks around.
No, I was following work around, and um, I don't know. I think I'm different than a lot of hunters and outdoorsmen. So I grew up in Wyoming, hunting and fishing since I was in diapers, But I, when I was younger, like I don't know, I just think a lot of it comes from living in a small town. But like whenever I would go to Denver or see a city, like it would just intrigue me. Like seeing different people, different cultures, the lights, the noise, all the hustle and bustle. Back then, I couldn't get enough of it. It excited the hell out of me, man. So,
Uh-huh.
and I
Yeah, I get that. When I go to go to New York or
yeah,
LA, I'm like, holy shit.
yeah, I
But
thought it was
after
cool.
3 days, I'm like, get me out of here. But
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I want to live here and I want to make it here. I want to be able to work here, say that I live here. And I did it. And I did it for like 7 years. And
wait, where
you
was
know,
this?
Denver,
Oh, Denver.
Denver,
Okay.
Colorado. Yeah. And I don't regret any of it, man. I loved it. I loved the diversity of it. But and I had so much fun. And I mean, the city just chewed me up and spit me out 1,000 times, man.
You were partying?
Oh man, Jesus, it just chewed me up, man. I didn't know how to move in a
Or
city.
did you chew it up?
I guess you could say both. I guess you could say both. But as I got older, that was my mid-20s or late 20s. And then as I got older, started settling down, of course, get a wife, have kids, and then,
How
hunting
many kids you
started.
got?
I got one myself, and then I have two stepkids that I've been with since they're babies pretty much. So a 21-year-old daughter, um, 18-year-old son, and a 7-year-old son.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, man, I just had enough of it. The traffic was too much. I needed a slower pace, and hunting became really, really important to me. That's all I wanted to do.
When did you
One-
move back to Wyoming?
So I moved back to Wyoming in 20 officially, I want to say officially 2014. I said right
Okay.
around. Yeah, yeah. And now I can't, as long as unless I quit hunting, I won't leave, you know. But
Yeah.
if I didn't hunt, I would probably live somewhere else.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't live in Miles City, Montana if I didn't hunt.
Yeah. I would live in Texas, probably more than likely. I love Texas, because I worked I work in the oil and gas industry, so I work on drilling rigs and stuff, and I worked in
Okay.
Texas. I worked in Texas for 3 years in West Texas, going back and forth though. So I just worked there for 3 weeks, then come back,
To
and I
Denver.
no, this is recently. So
Oh, okay.
I go back to Casper,
Okay.
but yeah, man, Texas is cool. Texas. Where in Michigan did you grow up?
Well, we got the anatomically correct state, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Dudes, when I was growing up, you'd be like, "Hey, got a girlfriend? Or you just
yeah.
date? Are you dating Miss Michigan?" You know, um, right there, Muskegon.
So that's pretty close to Detroit then.
It's across from Detroit.
Oh, is
Detroit's
it?
right here.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. 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 Now I've never been. I don't know anything about Michigan. I've met a lot of people, and that isn't that. Dude, I noticed like maybe like 10 years ago. You know how you would always meet people from Mexico, immigrants. They left Mexico to seek a new beginning and escaping poverty and getting out because there's nothing to offer there. So they came to America. I
yeah.
met I've met the same amount of people from Michigan doing that than I have Mexicans. Isn't that crazy? Like so many people from Michigan that leave the state that I've met, come to Wyoming or North Dakota or Texas to work and stuff. I just meet a bunch of them.
Oh, I'm one of those.
Yeah, man. But uh, I went to Detroit once, and that's a dark city. I'm not gonna. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a
What year
dark.
were you there?
Last year.
Oh, because it's
Last
got. Oh
year.
man, if you thought it was dark then you wouldn't have wanted to see it a decade ago. Because it's gone through a bit of a renaissance.
That's what my. That's what my one of my friends told me who's from Michigan. She told me that it's really changed a lot for the better.
Yeah,
Um, recently.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So should we get to the matter at hand? You
Yeah.
ready to
Let's
jump into this? So I
let's
want to
get into
start.
this.
I want to start out with some like big scale, large scale, broad questions. So, like, you have an interest in celebrity poaching,
Yep.
and to the point where you're even thinking about starting a YouTube channel.
Yep. I actually am in the process of producing it right now. I have a buddy who's owns a video editing company who's helping me out with it. So I want to get more than one episode done. I want to have about I want to have at least 3 done so that when I put one out, then I'll have more to put out while I'm working on the others, and I'm going to promote and market them. I'm not trying to get rich off this. I don't know yet if I want to monetize it. I'm completely 100% against any monetization of hunting, but I don't feel like this is hunting, even though it's related to hunting. So I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know what it's gonna do. I wanna bring awareness to this, and it's fun for me.
Yeah.
Something
Okay. So, will it be just
that's
celebrity
my
poaching?
that's gonna be my main focus, and the reason why is because there are quite a few channels already or guys who do cover who cover poaching cases. That's not their main thing, but they just cover. So they'll throw the celebrity stuff in there, but it's mainly any poaching case that makes the news. It doesn't really necessarily matter if it's celebrities and stuff. But my main thing is going to be social media influencers because I have a question and a narrative behind it. And I think it'll that's why, I spoke with you. I think it aligns with a little bit about your movement. My open-end debate about this is I think we are seeing a huge rise in social media poaching just because of, I think, the pressure that they feel and that they have to live up to all these expectations that they throw out there for their social media presence on Instagram. Their sponsors, as we know, sponsors will look at how many followers you have, um, what their return on investment is, and a lot of that has to do with how many. I mean, let's cut the bullshit. It's all about how many kills you
How
can.
many carcasses you generate? Absolutely, it is.
Exactly.
That
So I
can't be.
think,
That can't be denied. I think that
yeah. So
there's.
I think it's the pressure, and we're seeing a lot more of it. I mean, just look. And my thing is, I'm not trying to ruin anybody's lives here, but if you're putting yourself out on social media and you're portraying yourself to your sponsors as one person being this perfect etiquette, perfect saint hunter.
There's going to be
Let's
a little bit of that sneezing going on. I'm a little
no,
bit.
you're fine.
I'm pretty more than a little bit sick today, but we're going to get
Yeah,
through this. So
yeah. So if you're going to portray that online as being that, because if you portray yourself as anything else, you're not going to get the money, you're not going to get the revenue, you're not going to get the
No,
sponsor.
have enough credibility to direct people's expenditures.
Yeah, because
And
you're a brand
that requires a regular stream of carcasses.
and you're a brand ambassador. You are their representative. You're speaking for them. You're promoting their products. They don't want to be associated with anything negative. Of course, not poaching.
When I type in why do celebrity hunters poach, the Google AI overview first sentence is celebrity hunters poach due to intense pressure for content and profit, seeking viral moments and sponsorships.
I couldn't have said it any better.
And if you dig into it, it cites Meat Eater.
Really?
Yeah, they have a couple articles about celebrity poachers, and it cites our Instagram.
It cites yours?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So one thing that I when I was making this series, one thing that I'm good at, that I feel like I have a little bit more knowledge than most people is I'm good at, and I know you got a team behind you of some badasses, including me, if you ever need me. But
don't say that unless you mean it, because yeah.
So I am very good at public records. I'm very good at searching for public records.
Oh, before we get into it,
sure.
I still have a couple more broad overarching questions, or at least one. Okay. So the next question is, why are you motivated by this?
Okay, so let me get a dip in, and I hope you don't mind that.
No.
I'm a dipper.
Dip away.
Yeah. I always like that's one thing. Your brother, when you talk about how he's infatuated with people who dip.
My brother is?
Yeah, yeah. He always talks about, he loves the different styles of dipping. He calls if you put, the guys that put those huge ones in, and then they also put one in on top lip, he calls it a full base or something.
Oh, I've never heard this.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, my motivation was, okay, so I wouldn't say copying, but I'm real big into a lot of true crime stuff. So there's this guy named there, and this is where I got my idea from. So there's a guy on the internet. His name's 1090 Jake. Okay, he's very, very famous in the urban hip hop world. So his what he does.
He's a rapper?
No, he's a former. He's a guy who went to prison when he was younger, got into some trouble in Florida, and he got out. He's doing, changed his life around for the better. Doesn't get in trouble. He's a family man. But what he does now is just like me. Since he has he has experience with the justice system. What he does is in the urban. His niche is urban hip hop. And what he does in the urban hip hop is, okay, say there's a rapper, right? A famous rapper, and he's a street guy. So he has to have street credibility because that's what he's claiming in his rapping. And as I'm speaking to this, keep in mind of the relatability in what I'm doing, because they're very similar. Okay. So these rappers have, when they're rapping, they have street cred. They have to keep up this persona, right? Well, a lot of these rappers, they get in trouble. They catch cases. They get in trouble for drugs, murder, robbery, whatever. And what he does is he looks into public records, and he finds out that these people were snitches or cooperated with authorities, which, whatever, to each his own. But the thing is he's discrediting, he's exposing it. So he puts the paperwork on, like,
so he says this guy was an FBI operator. Like, he was an operative with the FBI, and then that rapper loses credibility because he was a snitch.
Yep, because in the rapping industry, something that's going to cancel you is snitching. Now think about that in hunting. Instead of rapping, it's hunting. Think of what's going to cancel you: poaching, right?
Well, sometimes.
Exactly. But it's
look at Muley Freak.
Yep, same kind of concept, right? So I looked at his thing. I'm like, you know what? I started digging in. I would hear about some of these celebrity cases, and found the paperwork on it, the court records, and it completely went against what everybody knows, and nobody knows about this stuff. And I'm like, this person's continuing. Oh, so here, Matt, here's my answer. Let's cut to the bullshit.
Okay.
What is your, I'm against social media influencer hunting 100%. I think it's ruining hunting. I don't like it. I am fully on board with anything to bring awareness to why it is. So anything that I can do to mitigate the amount of social media hunting, influencer hunting, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do. So I figured this is my angle to bring light bring light to the public that what social media influencer hunting is I don't know the percentage, but I want to say it's 80% bullshit. It's not this is not what hunting is supposed to be. You know, where did we come to the commercialization of hunting? And of it's getting to the point where it's turning in people into criminals to live up to this commercialization of the thing that we call a hobby. This is our hobby. This is our passion. And that's why I have such a big thing with the commercialization of it.
Yeah. 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 Just like, yeah, selling it out, being a sellout.
Tell me if you agree with this, because I get a lot of pushback. Always guys are always like, "Man, why are you being so negative? Why are you giving a guy shit for making a living off of something that he loves?"
I get that a lot. I get that one a lot.
Because this is the foundation of everything I'm about. I said, I get that and I understand it, but I honestly feel like can we have something in this world where we have a passion or a hobby that is just that and we don't monetize it and it's not commercialization? Like look at religion. Of course there's some Joel Osteens out there, right?
Yeah.
That and monetize the church, but it's not a that's it's very taboo to promote religion and make money off of it. Or you don't see social media into religious people hawking products everywhere you look or making religion a big huge money thing, right? Or promotion thing. I think hunting is like that because it's that special to somebody.
It's like too sacred to for it to be treated as a marketing instrument.
One thing that it just is not about business. That's my answer.
Okay, so let me respond to that real quick. So I oppose to what you call influencer hunting.
Yeah.
Which is a good name for it.
Yeah.
On a number of grounds. And what you just touched on is what I call the spiritual reason.
Yeah.
It's just not the proper orientation of a hunter towards wildlife to be looming over a dead deer trying to sell me a game cam. It's just, but I guess for me, I also see, in addition to this, like that I think of hunting as sacred, and I think of that as like a bastard. The marketing is like a bastardization of something that's sacred to me.
No, 100%.
I also see that it has the influencer hunting has real negative consequences on a more practical level. I think it's terrible for access.
No, exactly.
I think it crowds the field with people that are seeking clicks, likes, and money as opposed to hide horns, meat, and personal satisfaction, And I think it erodes our credibility amongst the non-hunting public. So there's some practical ones too, but I really like yours. I think the hunting being a sacred thing that shouldn't be monetized. That one is the one that motivates me most on a day-to-day basis.
And a lot of guys say, well, what do you think outfitting and guiding is? And to be honest with you, I don't necessarily really like outfitting and guiding.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it either. Now I got mea culpa. Like I hire fishing guides once in a
Yeah,
while, but I would never hire one to take me on a body of water that he's leased up and locked everybody else
yeah.
out of. I take a way bigger issue with leased land outfitting than I do a guy that's got a permit to operate
Yeah.
in the Gallatin Forest or whatever.
Like the Lakowskis and all them.
What?
Didn't the Lee Lakowski, doesn't he got a bunch of land that he locked up there? Or am I thinking of a different guy? Or am
Oh,
I
they lease and buy they've leased and bought up land all over the country. But my understanding is that's for themselves, not
okay.
yeah.
Well, and so another thing I like to say is like, I mean, let's just face it. If another thing, like exactly like you're saying, I 100% agree, is that it's bad for social media influence hunting is bad for access. It, is hunting was never meant to be an internet social media thing. So let's just face it, hunting cannot sustain an overwhelming amount of new recruits. It just can't. They try and manage for it. They try and they try all the states try different things to deal with it, but they just cannot. It's not something that can be sustained. Like take for instance, I mean, it's not one of those hobbies that it doesn't matter how many people do it. Like, okay, riding your horse, going biking, say that's your hobby, say, going for a run, say, leather making or me building cars. Those are not
What was that one? Leaven making? What's that?
leather.
Oh,
Like,
leather making. Yeah.
yeah, like saddles and stuff like that. My dad's real big into that stuff. Um, but that's not something like if you want to go into if you want to go out into your garage and work on some leather and build a saddle, you don't have to worry about too many people being in your garage to go work on your damn saddle. You know what I mean? It's like I guess there could be the one sport. I don't know if you want to call hunting a sport, whatever, a hobby, whatever. But there's one sport that I've heard that is also having kind of a similar situation to hunting with social media exposing it, bringing way too many people into it. You know what I heard it is? Surfing.
Oh, I've heard it. I've had surfers on this podcast.
Oh, really?
Two of them, yeah.
Have they said that?
Oh, that's why that was my motivation for having them on. Because
Oh,
crowding is a huge issue in surfing.
yeah.
It can make it impossible to engage in the activity on certain beaches
Yeah,
on certain days. It becomes dangerous.
exactly.
Another one is mountaineering.
Oh, too many people being
Have you
on
ever
the
seen
face
like
at
the
the time.
pictures of Everests on days where there's a lot of people attempting
Uh-uh.
a summit?
Oh,
It's
wow. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. Like there's I've heard it's just like just recently, I think like a shitload of people got stuck up there because of the weather, and there was just I think like 700, not that many, but like shitload of people that got stuck up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's just some sports, hobbies, or whatever that cannot sustain a lot of people to do them or to enjoy them, and hunting is one of them. And so,
And it's like and no other and not in mountaineering, not in surfing. It's only in hunting that if you have a bunch of money,
mm,
you can buy yourself out of that
yeah,
crowding. You can buy yourself out of the crowding. You can buy yourself uh you can buy your way around not being able to draw a tag even. Cuz
yep,
you can get in a tag auction, you
yep,
know. Or you can lease land or go with the lease land outfitter. Um and still like the fact that people can buy up the opportunity would be enough of like, whoa, we got to be careful how many people we draw into this because the right people come into this or the wrong people, they'll just buy up a lot of the opportunity. And
yeah, yeah,
then, then that's the difference between surfing and mountaineering. Another difference between surfing and mountaineering is surfing and mountaineering don't have quote unquote conservation organizations
Yeah.
directed at trying to get more people to engage in the activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas hunting has probably a dozen of them or more.
Yeah. I think the hypocrisy of it, uh, at the guys that all the guys that at Go Hunt, that brand is to make hunting more accessible, easier, get more people. Their whole basis is to recruit new hunters. But you look at some of those guys, and just a so I used to be full transparency. I used to be a huge consumer of hunting media. But I'm talking podcasts. I'd watch every single hunting video that came out. I followed all these guys. This is before I had my awakening, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Quite said it all. But those guys, it's funny because a lot of these guys, their business is about recruiting new hunters, or it's about their business is products that mainly new hunters buy. But they are saying they'll talk in their podcasts about how hard it is to get tags, and they'll gripe on the states a lot for their
Raising the prices. That's one thing
management. And I'm like, dude, look what your business is doing.
they've created the market for the higher price tags. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so asinine.
And a lot of them, and I, that's
You know why we need those services? In part because those services, we need those services in part. I don't use them, but they're the niche. We need those services. In the grander sense.
Yeah.
Because there are those services.
Mhm.
It's the self-licking ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be that hard to get tags. It'd be easier to get tags if it wasn't for those services. Just like it would be easier to get tags if it wasn't for Fresh Tracks, Meat Eater, the hunting public, frickin' et cetera, you know?
Yeah. And some people ask, okay, well, what do you suggest? What do you, in a perfect world? I don't, I don't have the answer. I really don't. I don't know what the perfect solution would be, or I don't know what the balance would look like. I don't know. I just know that the only thing that I do know is that with the current rate of the way things are going, it's only going to get worse.
It's only gotten worse my whole life, David.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 54. I've never seen access get better. I've never seen draw odds increase.
Yeah.
I've never gone to a place for years and then noticed that the crowding started to decline.
Yeah.
Unless in that same area the number of animals started to decline. Then, so, like, I don't know if you've followed what I'm up to closely enough to know what my proposed solution is. And I think my solution is pretty unrealistic, but I can't think of another one that has that's at all viable. It's like, either we as a hunting community decide that we value hunting more than we value hunting media, or it's going to continue to get worse.
Yeah.
We need to check out. We got to check out from hunting media. We got to stop watching it. In my mind, if we all come together and acknowledge this is not helping our hunting, and then also if we stop giving money to nonprofits to do R3.
Yeah.
And notice neither of those would cost us any money. They'd save us money. Both of those things would save us money.
Yeah, man. And your Hunters for Access, that's on my notes of one of the things I did. We
got a pretty vibrant chapter in your state there of Wyoming.
Yeah, because I wanted to. I don't know if you want to talk about it off there or what, but I really want to do something for one of the landowners in my unit. I don't think anybody's ever done anything for him, and the fact is that it's one ranch that if he was to shut down his HMU, he's in the hunter management unit program, which is your guys' block management thing.
Yeah, you guys have the hunter management unit thing, and then you also
Basically,
have access. Yes, and I don't understand the
yeah.
difference between the
Um,
two.
I think Access Yes is like I think that's mainly like designated walk-ins. I'm not sure because the HMUs are just is basically the I don't know. I can't tell you the exact difference, but I know the HMUs are ranches that allow hunting and they have their own rules, right? So sort of like you guys' blockman, you have to follow their rules, but you guys have to like sign in and out and stuff too, right?
Well, there's different ways you get permission.
Okay.
Every property has its own rule sheet.
Yep. Yep. Just like ours. So ours, when you draw that tag, if it's a limited quota, you draw that tag. Then if you want to go onto that ranch to hunt, you have to you have to go into the Wyoming Game and Fish website, and there's a thing called a permission slip. And so they say that you have to apply for it, but most places you just have to fill out the paperwork and they give it to you. So you get a permission slip, and then you have to have the road or the ranch rules, and then you're allowed to hunt there. And you have to like stick the permission slip up in your window. You
Yeah.
don't put it in your window while you're there. I got a ticket once for forgetting to put it in my window. So, but anyway, what I was getting at, Matt, is there's one ranch in our unit. I mean, my unit, that's a whole nother podcast we get into, but it has been losing access for years by big ranch owners coming, Texas oil tycoons coming in and gobbling up all the land and then shutting it down. But there's one ranch that if they were to decide not to participate in the HMU, there would be no more of my unit. It's just that they are the only access into the parts where the elk are at. If they shut down, that unit would be done for. And I don't think, and they've had just horrible things happening. Like they had some like I don't know, like 6, 7 years ago, because they have a cow camp out there where they have cabins and stuff. Some asshole, I don't know, probably a kid, some asshole went out there and shot it up with
Oh
a bunch of
God.
shit, man, and litter and crap like that. So I don't know. That's something that I'd love to get with you about. I would love to just even if I got to do it by myself, just going there and doing something for them.
Well, like this. Okay, so we got two groups of guys down there now. One of them is near Sheridan, and
Mhm.
he's going to have an appreciation dinner in February. I'm going to go to it.
Okay.
And the other one guys are by Casper,
All
and
right.
they're trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. So I could loop you in with those guys. You just
Yeah,
have
and
to help.
I'm
You just
sure they're
have to.
very familiar.
Yeah. So you just need to help me remember.
Okay.
Um, and
And the cool thing about this ranch is there's one other ranch. These other ranch family, they're new. They came in and they had a very small section in this area, and they have been aggressively, I'm talking aggressively, trying to buy every single ranch in that unit. And I'm talking offering crazy amounts of money. And as
these
soon
are
as
oil people.
no, this it's a well, I think the parents are older, but the ones who are making the decisions and running it are younger.
No, I said oil. Are they oil
Oh,
tycoons?
oil.
Tycoons?
No, these are this is an actual ranching family.
Oh,
They do the ranching, but the main guys are an oil tycoon from Texas, and they're the largest landowners in that unit.
what's their
And
names?
the his name is I'm sorry, let me think of it. I know it very well, but
It's not.
Gordy.
Oh,
His
that's the
name's
last name.
it's the Falls Ranch, but they own like different. They call it the Longhorn Ranch or Lone Star Ranch. Lone
Okay.
Star Ranch, and his name is Gordy. Can't remember his name, but it's the Falls Ranch, Lone Star Ranch. But there's a different family that's buying up all the ranches and then blocking, and then they're buying ranches that participate in the HMU, and as soon as they buy it, they shut it off. No more access. So
Uh,
it's
yeah.
but yeah, I'd love, um, text me or something when we get off to loop me in with those guys. I'd love to get involved, heavily involved.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So back to the matter at hand.
Yeah.
Um. So, folks, if you're listening to us and we're talking about celebrity poaching cases, you might be thinking, if you don't follow this stuff, I didn't used to follow it until I started doing this podcast. There's quite a few of them.
A lot.
I have a little list here that I've been keeping, and I have 17 on here, all since 2010.
Okay.
A lot of Lacey Act violations, poaching deer and elk. Most of these people have television shows. Some of them, if they were an influencer with sponsors, then I included them on this list. But most of the 17 have had television shows. So I don't know. I guess you got to be open to the idea that that's just the background level of poaching. Like how many people with television shows do you think there are?
Oh, and also,
how many? Would you say 1,000 with shows and sponsored hunters?
Oh yeah, man. And then you also got to ask how many people striving to get to that level of sponsorship. I'm talking like just the IG guys, like the IG hunters without sponsors, but are,
yeah, but I'm still midpoint on this part.
Yeah.
So that's 1.7%.
Oh wow.
If there's 1,000
hunting
celebrities, then that's 1.7% have been busted for poaching. Do you think the background rate of poaching is about that in the general hunting population?
What you mean in the general population of everybody?
If you took a grab bag, a random sample of 100 hunters in any given year, do you think 2 of them would have a poaching violation?
I think if a hunter's been say you got
since 2010.
Yeah, I'd say more.
Okay. Well, then you're saying hunting celebrities follow the law, but better. They're more stringent in following the law.
Yeah, I think it's because they have so much. They're in the spotlight so much, right? And so I can reference you like some cases. Like I think with the Eric Van Workum case, I honestly don't think
that's the Muley Freak guy.
Yeah,
just for listening audience.
Yeah, for the Eric Van Workum and Muley Freaks, he's got a couple cases that involve poaching.
But what I'm getting at, you think that celebrities poach less per capita than regular hunters?
I don't know if I want to go as far as saying that, but here's what I think. I think most of the people who I know that have gotten in trouble for poaching most of them it's because of a culture thing, like something that they are. What I'm getting at is they've been hunting for so long. Like I'm saying, if you've been hunting since you were a kid and you're 30, I feel like there's an overwhelming percentage of people that have poached. That's what I want to say. Yeah, but I can't really say if the regular hunting crowd poaches more than influencers. I don't know how to distinguish that too much.
Yeah. Well, when you type when I typed in why do celebrity hunters poach, and it says it's the intense pressure for content profit, seeking viral moments and sponsorships. Well, why do non-celebrities poach?
Well, that's what I was getting at is I think, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I follow closely to all like new hunters and stuff. And I feel like from social media hunting, any new hunter that gets into hunting, I almost feel like they think it's a prerequisite to film their hunts and be a social media
Oh
hero.
yeah, I watch people get into hunting and become content creators simultaneously.
Yeah, it's like they think, okay, I'm going to get into hunting. If I'm going to hunt, then that means I have to also create content and put it on. But I feel like most of these people think that comes with it. Like I cannot hunt unless if I'm going to hunt, I have to make a following of this or make it my identity on social media.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why it comes like, but hey, that's what another thing I'm telling you. I fell victim to that. I fell victim, and that's why I'm completely transparent with it. Fell into thinking when I first got when I took a long break from hunting when I moved to the city, and then I came back home
When
and
you
got
moved to
married.
Denver.
Yeah, and
Okay.
when I left Denver and came home 2000, I think it was like 2014 or 15 on that, I got heavily back into hunting, and just from what I see on the social media, I felt like I need to do that. I need to get sponsors. I need to get a large following. I need to post all my kills on Instagram and all that stuff, and I did it for years, and it became so toxic, and I started asking myself, like, "Why am I doing this?" I started to get mad, like, it was just ruining my hunting, like, if I didn't kill something that year or kill something big and then I see all these other social media influencers, something was big, I'd be mad. I'd be, like, jealous. I'd be hating and be like, "Look what this is turning me into. I hate it." And that's when I started going away.
Yeah.
And
Comparison, what's that saying? Comparison is the thief of joy or something like that.
oh, yeah. And then that's when I not only hated it, I started, wanting to do something about it, and before, I never heard anybody ever it was rare to ever hear anybody talk or criticize social media hunting or influencers and stuff like that, and then that's really when I discovered you, because I felt like I was the only one that felt like this and had these thoughts and had this philosophy, and then I stumbled upon your page in the Hunt Quietly movement. I'm like, "Holy shit, somebody else thinks the
There's
way
a
I'm."
few meme sites that kind of
Yeah,
play around with the same ideas, you've
yeah,
encountered those. But they're just
and
so jokey that
yeah,
I can't really figure out what they're trying to
yeah,
do. They're
and I heard
critical of
you.
hunting celebrities. I know that, but I can't tell if there's a serious agenda behind it or what if it
And I
was
heard
like
you.
this, David? What if the world had unlimited hunting opportunity?
Yeah.
Would you still care?
Yeah, I would, because I
Because
think
of
it's
the
tacky.
spiritual, because of the
Yeah,
spiritual aspect. Okay.
I think it's tacky, and even just some of the things that the 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 "look how big my dick is" basically type of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys, I mean, even if there is unlimited hunting opportunity, you're still tainting it with the bragging and making it something that it shouldn't be,
Yeah.
you know?
You ever heard of
Um,
the Jutaskanzi people in East Africa?
no.
They're this tribe. That was studied by this. They were hunter gatherers, and they were studied in the 80s, I think it was, when they were
Mhm.
still a hunter gatherer tribe by this
Yeah.
Canadian sociologist. Uh,
Mhm.
his last name was Lee. Um, and they had all these cultural uh rules against bragging in hunting.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of great quotes in there, like the chief telling this sociologist, when a young man comes in from hunting, he shouldn't say, like, announce in a booming voice that he's killed a big one in the bush. He should
Mhm.
sit quietly by his fire until I come up and ask him, and he says, "Oh, I just scratched a little one. It's not big." And then they go out to get it the next day, and it'll be
Yeah.
some giant. But still, then the whole tribe berates him. They call it
Mm.
insulting the meat. Like, you drug
Oh,
us
wow.
out. You drug us out here to pack home your bag of bones. You know.
Yeah.
Um, it's like and it's all to maintain egalitarianism, like so that nobody gets too big of a head on their shoulders. So like
A
that
tradition.
feeling, yeah, that feeling you have is something ancient. And then I know that like in some Native American cultures, I think this is true with the Inuit. I'm almost positive it's true with the Inuit that they believe that if you bragged about hunting, when you shoot something, they thought that it was because the animal gave itself up to you, and then
Hmm.
if you bragged about hunting, they believe that the animals would stop giving themselves up to you as a
I
hunter.
can see that. Yeah, I can see that. That's cool. What tribe is that?
Oh, the Jew Tuscanzi. But yeah, if you remind me, I'll send you his
Yeah,
report.
I follow the Hadzabe tribe a lot on like I see them on Instagram a lot, and I follow a lot of them. They're the
Oh,
ones
well,
that
what's that? Who are
they're
they?
the ones that do that. The tribe that go there's that cookie
Oh, yeah.
Hadzabe.
Are they from
Yeah.
Namibia? They're from West Africa somewhere, I know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt, I wanted to so on the thing with social media, like hunting strictly making a kill for content, like not killing for the meat, not killing for the memories, strictly killing for content, for that content to generate revenue. Okay. So one of my first cases is it all right if I talk about one of these? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So one of my cases that I looked into back in like
So this is an episode of
yeah, this
your
is gonna be one this will be one of my episodes. I'll just
okay.
brief. So one of them was back in 2019. His name is Greg Ritz from Hunt Masters.
Oh, I want to
And
see if this guy's on my list. Hold on one second.
okay,
God dang it.
he's on the Outdoor Channel.
Oh, he didn't even
Hunt
make
Master.
my list.
Oh no, and there's a
I'm going
reason.
to write him down.
There's
Oh,
a reason.
okay. All right.
There's a reason. Okay, so remember when I talked about this? These things are alleged, and on specifically on this one, I have to say alleged because there is no the case has been sealed. And so there is nobody. The only person that knows is his attorneys, himself, and maybe some close friends that know what the outcome of the case was. But I'm not going to read you the entire incident report, but I'm just going to brief and go over some highlights on what happened. So this was in let me see, Wisconsin. So he was on a white-tailed deer hunt in Wisconsin for this is in Boone County. Um, is this don't quote me on the state. I'm sorry. I need to get my shit together. But Boone County.
What's his name?
Greg Ritz.
If I look it up, will it say anything or not?
Yeah, there's a few things on it. I
Okay,
can
go ahead. Keep talking and I'll see if I can fill in the gaps.
Yep. Boone County. Greg Ritz, he has the Hunt Masters channel. So he did, he was investigated. So basically, the gist of the story is
It's Missouri.
Missouri. Yes, that's it. Missouri, Boone County. So on January 7th, 2020, the conservation officer, game warden, whatever you want to say, um, he found out about the first violation that was alleged is that he was hunting over bait, which bait is illegal at this either in the entire state or that season. Um, okay, so um, they first found out that he was hunting over bait, and there was two confidential informants. I'm gonna guess that it was, or assume that it was his cameraman. Um, but they found corn, other seeds, including sunflower and milo, over the place where the kill was made. I mean, he killed a buck whitetail. Um,
When you hear details like that, it gives the case more credibility. Like
yep,
it's right down to exactly what kind of seeds were on the ground.
yep, sunflower and milo and corn. Um,
I didn't
when
know
he,
deer would eat sunflower.
yeah, I don't know nothing about
I
whitetails,
bet they
but
probably would, but I just never. Yeah.
yep. So he walked into the woods nearby and he seen an entire deer carcass where it had been left to waste. So just a dead deer just sitting there, nobody was there. The carcass was field dressed, so they did field dress it, but otherwise it was entirely intact. Um, so he he went to the spot because he was able to look at the confiscated camera footage and see that he was in the exact spot. Um, so he found the deer on January 7th. Okay. So on January 8th, he went back um, to seize it after he did his investigation. And the deer was still there the next day, entirely intact. He entered the antlers into evidence at the office and documented everything with pictures and videos. So, um, when he was speaking to the confidential informants that were there with Greg, they said that the confidential Force 2 captured video of this buck feeding in the baited field and then being shot by Greg Masters. They documented the hunt post recovery for pictures and video to be used for Hunt Masters for social media publicity. Um, so they decided they went there the following morning because they didn't have good enough light that evening of the kill. So they returned the next morning. They left the deer next morning when there'd be better light to continue taking pictures and videos.
Wait, there.
At
Let me make sure I'm following here.
Mhm.
You're saying that they killed a deer and they're showing the deer laying there dead, but they never pick it up?
Nope, left it there, but they field dressed it. Um, so
What
yeah,
the
Greg.
hell? Why they field dress it and then abandon it?
Yeah,
I
Greg.
wouldn't do that even if I didn't like venison, just so
Yeah.
I wouldn't get in trouble.
Oh, exactly. I don't know what he was thinking or what. Um,
But then they're like, let's just leave it.
yep. Because I think it gets into it. But so after documentation was completed, Greg chose to waste the entire deer carcass by leaving it in the woods. And hunters are required, obviously, to take all the edible portions of a harvested animal. So they ended up donating the dead deer, but
Wait, when you say they, you mean Fish and Game, not
yeah, fishing game, yes, sir.
yeah.
So in February, the game and fish officer actually called Greg, and when this conservation officer talked to Greg, he asked Greg if he'd taken the deer to a meat processor. He knows he's just trying to.
Right.
He's asked him if he'd taken the deer to a meat processor or taxidermy, and Greg just said, "I'll have to call you back." So I called him he said he called him the following day again, asked him about the deer he killed, and he said he left the deer in the
This
woods.
is all according to some court records.
Oh, this is public court records. So this was
Yeah.
on the this is on the Missouri court records. I
Okay.
have the case. So you just look up the case number, it brings it up.
Okay.
So um yeah, so Greg said he'd have to call him back. I want to get to where he started lying. Um oh yeah, so I called him back the following day and again asked him about the deer he killed, and he said that he left the deer in the woods that evening and said he'd return the following morning to take pictures and video, but he said coyotes had eaten the deer overnight. And so there was nothing left to salvage. That was his statement. And he left the deer carcass on site because coyotes had got to it and there was nothing left to salvage. Um, the conservation officer said that basically said that he went there the next day and the deer was still completely intact, which meant that it was wholly intact when he abandoned it. And Greg acknowledged initially about lying about the condition of the carcass and also told me he was, in quotations, floored about the baiting violation and didn't know anything about the field being baited. Okay. Um, so Greg was issued tickets for wanton waste of a deer and one take of deer with bait and one ticket for wanton waste. Um, and in reference to violations being discussed, Greg said, I've made some poor choices and I apologize, each more than once. So, in summary, for what these conservation officers saying basically is that he killed this deer to take videos and pictures for his show, Hunt Masters, but left the entire deer to rot and didn't pick it up, just left it there in the field. Okay. So when I tried to follow this case, because this is just the initial investigation, when I tried to find the outcome of this case, I've contacted not only the courts, I contacted the Game and Fish Agency to get all the public records in the case to find out what was the outcome, what was the adjudication. There's nothing. It's been sealed. Not only is this the investigation report dismissed, the case numbers are completely gone. So I did
So
some
when you
research.
call these people, they say, we don't know what you're talking about.
No, they say the case has been sealed.
What is that? Okay, that means they're not putting out.
Yeah, so they gave me a state statute of why it's sealed. And when I looked up that state statute, it says that the reason that they can have these cases sealed like this is if he received a deferred sentence or a what do they call it? Basically, if he probably and I can't be 100% sure on this, and without being able to access the records, what it's saying is like he got like a deferred sentence, meaning he probably got some probation or some requirements. And after he completed the probation or his obligations, then the record would be expunged. So that was done, probably negotiated between his lawyer and and the prosecutor, saying, hey, if he completes his probation, completes his community service, does this, does that, can we have this case expunged or you know deferred when he's done? And that's what happened. So
Oh,
he had a very good lawyer.
I
On
don't
on
know. I don't know much about the law,
Yeah,
so that's it. That's interesting that they can. I wonder if it was because he made his living off of hunting.
I mean, a good lawyer can go for that, but mainly it's probably because he didn't have any priors. So if you don't have any priors and you don't have any criminal record, they're gonna usually work with you pretty good.
Oh, I just remember what the reason I said what I said about maybe it's because he made his living off of it is like there were some considerations given to the Bomars when they got
Oh,
those some legal considerations
are the
given.
federal violations?
Yeah, because of the fact that they made their living off of it, they got some special consideration.
Yeah. Greg did make a statement through his attorney, um, not admitting to any fault, but he basically said, in light of the recent allegations against me in Missouri,
And
for
what's the date of this statement?
da, 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 January, February 16th, 2020.
Okay.
So yeah, he says, in light of the recent allegations against me in Missouri for baiting and waste of a deer, I wanted to address a few things to the public before any further conclusions are made and to help stop the spread of rumors that naturally occur in this type of situation. I pleaded not guilty to both charges, and the case is still pending. The misperception of what I have allegedly done has resulted in many damaging comments against me being made before the facts have been established. This rush to judgment has created an assault to my character, is inevitably damaging to the hunting community. He goes on about stuff like that, but basically says, I have dedicated my life to ethical pursuit of game and have always been and always will be a true sportsman and an advocate for hunting and the outdoors. Thank you for your continued support in this difficult time, Greg Ritz.
Okay, so is he still making hunting TV?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything. And I even contacted his sponsors and asked, why are you guys still sponsoring this man? And I even sent the investigation report to them at the Outdoor Channel, and they sent me an email back saying that we are watching the case closely. And
When was all that correspondence?
what's that?
When was all that correspondence between you and them?
Oh, 2021. No, 2022 when I spoke with them. Um, and basically give me a public relations type of email back saying we are against all ethical hunting and stuff. But he's been there's no record of what happened to him. So if he wants, he can say whatever. He can say that, oh, I got those cases dismissed. They were dropped. He can say anything because there's no record of it. Um, he never did give a statement of, because I'd love to ask him, did you shoot a deer, field dress it, and leave the entire carcass without taking any meat in a field and abandon all that meat? And did you hunt over bait? Did you or did you not? I would
Y-
love to ask that.
Yeah, you know, I think for this episode, this you should try to understand like what it means for a case to be sealed.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to get heavily into
Yeah, that'll help. That'll just help because I hear this story and it's a great story, and it's particularly great seeing that he's still like a hunting TV guy.
Yeah.
You know,
And can I just say, so the, what did we say? Missouri?
yeah,
Yeah. So Missouri, when they say, when you put in a public records request and they don't give it to you, they have to give you a reason of why they don't give it to you. So it's like a redaction, what they said. So they issue the law, the Missouri section is section 610.105, called, and everything's Latin in courts. So effective null pros. And what that is dismissal sentence. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what the word I was looking for earlier. Suspended. So a suspended sentence. So it's either a dismissal sentence, suspended on record, not guilty due to mental disease. So it says if the person arrested is charged, if the person arrested is charged, but the case is subsequently nulled, dismissed, or is accused or found not guilty, or imposition of the sentence is suspended in the court in which the action is prosecuted, official records pertaining to the case shall therefore after be closed records.
okay.
And yeah. So they're saying that if it was dismissed or if it was suspended or if he pleaded not guilty for mental disease. And so a suspended sentence is I got a suspended sentence when I was a juvenile. So I got in trouble for something and they gave me saying if I complete 1 year of probation, it'll be like it never happened. It's off your record. So if you were to do a records request or pull up my criminal record, it would not be there because that was a suspended sentence. I completed
Yeah.
all, but I'm going to dig into this some more when I do the episode, because dismiss, that all usually means that they dismiss the charges against you. That because you didn't, you either they found out you didn't do it, they didn't have enough evidence, so they dismissed it. And if you're dismissed, it's dismissed, you know? So,
So
but
why does this one captivate you enough to have it be your first one? It seems like a particularly tough one
it
because
is a tough.
we don't know the outcome. Like
But I didn't say this is going to be my first one. I'm just saying this is the first
gonna
one
be.
that I looked at.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
this
going
will
to be
be
my
one of your harder ones, your
yeah,
harder
yeah,
episodes because
yeah.
you don't know what
What
happened. I
happened?
mean,
And
most
almost
of,
in all my cases, this is the only one that doesn't have a clear ending. All my cases usually have, he pled guilty to this. This was his sentence. He admitted fault here. This is what his adjudication was. And the adjudication is just a word for what happened. What
yeah. This is a great idea for a YouTube channel. And the thing is, like, I got this list
I'm gonna and
of 17,
you need to
and
send me that updated list.
I will. So that's 17 in about 17 years. So you'll have one new case a year, you know.
Yep.
You
And
could
there's
do
more.
you could do 2 old cases and 1 new case every year.
Yep. And then I'm waiting to do. Let's find out what happened with Ryan Lampers. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that one. You know
Yep.
what I mean? We got to wait for his case to get settled, see if he pleads guilty, not guilty, see if he gets convicted, or if he gets exonerated.
Yeah, so just for people that don't follow celebrity poaching, you want to tell us a little bit about the
Yeah,
the
so
Ryan Lampers?
Ryan
Thank.
Lampers first became on the scene. I want to say that he started hunting with Brian Call of Gritty, in
Gritty
Randy
Bowman,
Newberg.
right?
What's that?
Gritty Bowman is
Yeah,
his.
Gritty Bowman. Yeah, Brian Call. Yeah. So Brian Call started bringing on his platform, and Randy Newberg even had him on his platform. They did an Arizona deer hunt, and that's where Ryan Lampers first became on the scene. And Brian Cole had him on all of his hunts, big social media hunts, and they made really big films on his Gritty platform. And I've never seen somebody Brian Cole, the way he speaks about Ryan Lampers is literally like if Ryan Lampers is God.
Oh, really?
He just loves this guy.
Yeah.
Just refers to if there's a way that he can throw Ryan Lampers' name in there in a conversation, he's gonna do it. So um
Was was Brian Call, was he a Navy SEAL?
no.
Okay.
He's a Mormon from Utah.
Okay. Some
Just a
dude
Mo
sent me like something. I won't even bore you with it. But okay,
Yeah,
that's good to know.
yeah.
Because all right.
No. So Ryan, um, I don't I haven't started this case yet because 'cause I'm waiting for it to be,
Adjudicated.
adjudicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ryan is accused of he has a felony, and the felony is for mm, he killed a trophy mule deer out of area. So he had a tag. He just I think there was some like probably a in I don't wanna speak on it too much because I wanna have all my facts right, but this is just what's out there. I'm gonna tell you what's out there, what people are saying. So poaching the mule deer, and
Yeah,
then
he was in the wrong unit and
yeah,
wasn't even and the even if he had the right tag for that unit that he was hunting in, it was not it was closed, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So also he killed a wolf, I believe, in that same wrong unit. And then in Idaho, they have a program, a bounty program. And if you turn in, I think show proof of kill of the wolf, the state will pay you. So he
I think
got,
it's a nonprofit that pays. Well, maybe it's the state that pays you, but it's
yeah,
funded through a
not
nonprofit. Yeah,
somebody pays you.
yeah.
Um, but the amount of money he got was over $1,000, so it became a felony because he lied um, about the wolf kill.
Well, one thing that's going on there is he said he shot it in the. How much money you get depends on what unit you shoot the wolf in.
Okay. Yeah.
So he shot the wolf in a unit where it was worth $400,
Yeah.
but said he shot it in a unit where it was worth much more.
Yep. And the amount, and since the
And he got
amount,
a felony charge for that.
yeah,
Like that's the biggest of the charges. There's
yeah.
a third charge too, right? Something with the mountain lion.
Yes, and the mountain lion. And I don't have all that information. I hate speaking on stuff.
Well, it's enough for our audience, just like because
Yeah, yeah, and
we
just
throw out a name like Ryan Lampers, and like
yeah.
I'm trying to be sympathetic to people listening.
Oh yeah, and
You
exactly.
know, yeah.
I'm gonna get to that because So yeah, and you guys, when I do my episodes, it's not gonna be me tripping over my words and stuff like this. I'll have all the facts, and I'm gonna present it in a factual basis, and then I might give my opinion at the end. But um, and all these things are alleged. He has not been convicted of anything yet. So all these things are alleged. We don't know what's happened. Ryan has not given any public comment in regards to this, and he's gone dark on social media. He deleted all of his social media and some would think that, "Oh, why is he doing that if he's not guilty?" But here's the thing.
Oh, it's just like I mean,
Here's the thing.
it's like I just can't. I would bet a dime against $10,000 that he's guilty. Like,
Yeah.
it just was a misunderstanding. He didn't really shoot a deer in the wrong place last season, and he really didn't shoot a wolf in the wrong unit. And the cougar, that was all legit. It's like,
Yeah.
what are the chances that he's
Game
guilty
and
as
fish.
shit? I'll tell you another thing. this dude, this first dude we're talking about, man,
Yeah.
like he's guilty, you know.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say it so strongly. I shouldn't still, but it's like, and I think that you got the right idea. When if you're gonna do these videos, then you need to be measured, you know, and you got to stick to the facts. And you can speculate a little bit, but you need to say when you're speculating, you
Yeah, because
know.
I don't want to be that reaction blogger guy.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah.
I wanna have actual factual basis, and I wanna have my angle is that I have you can't rumor mill or fake court records. Okay, so these are not my words. These are from the court. These are the charging documents that I
Yeah,
have.
well, right there he admits it. I don't know how the guy ever got off and got it sealed or whatever when he says right in there that he
So
lied.
if you're saying that you didn't do it, then you're accusing this game and fish officer of basically committing perjury because he's lying under a
Well,
federal
doesn't he
document.
say once the game warden goes, dude, I went back there the next day and the deer wasn't eaten by a coyote.
Yeah, it was fully intact.
Didn't he? Didn't that? What's his name now? The TV guy. What's his name
Greg
again?
Ritz.
So didn't Greg go? Oh, you got me.
Yeah, I said he admitted to being untruthful. Acknowledged his line.
I wonder how they. I mean, how was that not like okay?
Yeah.
You admitted it.
Well, that's why I'm thinking if you okay, you ask me, not as a person who is looking up court records and trying to stick to facts. If you ask me as a person, I think from my experience, just how I know how fish and game officers work, they have their shit together. They have to present their case to a prosecuting attorney. And if this person decides they want to go to trial, they got to present this case to a trial. So if you ask me, I I I completely 100% think that in this case that he did this. This is black and white. This case is black and white. You know what I mean? On Greg Ritz.
Yeah, yeah. And if he did do it, what a buffoon! Like, wouldn't you, if this was your livelihood, take the damn thing to Hunters for the Hungry? I mean, it's not that much work.
It's a small whitetail, you know.
I mean, if you're just gonna leave the deer laying out there, you better really trust your cameraman to not. And he did. If all this went down, if
they dropped a dime on him,
yeah. So he was trusting his cameraman, but he shouldn't have been, you know.
And then this is, I mean, I have never been. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never been to Missouri. Is that where it's Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never been to Missouri, but I can assume there isn't a lot of backcountry taking your llamas in 5 miles.
Oh God, they were freaking 200 yards from a 2-track, guaranteed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a similar case to this that with Donald Trump Jr. Do you know about this? That
Don Jr.'s case?
Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. This would be a good one for you to look into.
Yeah.
In Utah, a few years back, I think it was 2018. This, again, ladies and gentlemen, is not on my list of 17 celebrity cases because it was never substantiated. My 17 cases are all ones that there was a prosecution. So there was a prosecution in this case, but it wasn't of Donald Trump Jr. It was of his guide. So his guide baited a bear. Donald Trump Jr. shot the bear. The baiting was illegal, but Donald Trump Jr. claimed that he didn't know that there was bait.
And this was Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you not know?
Yeah, oh, come on.
You know?
I don't know that trash can. I don't know what that trash can full of donuts is.
Yeah. And that bear went right up to it. It was the damnedest thing. The bear went right up to it.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I've got some really cool stuff that I'm going to do. I think, and it's one of those things. Look, I get it. It's going to be controversial. Just like I told you, I was inspired by 1090 Jake for what he does. He has gotten, I mean,
he gets a lot of hate.
Yeah. Oh man, exposing snitches and stuff like that. Oh yeah, man. I look, I get it. It's going to be very controversial, but
Oh man,
I'm ready.
anything with the comment section underneath it, you're gonna get.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I get
I'm,
more hate per like
I see it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not worried about that, but somebody's got to do this work. But yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of interesting stuff. I'm gonna cover just the federal Bomar case. So the Bomar and is his wife and Eric Bomar and they created Lacey Act violations. That one's going to be a little bit tougher because federal records are a lot harder to get than state records.
What? Even if it's but they've been convicted?
Yep. So, I mean, there'll still be lots, there'll be enough. There'll be enough records to make an episode and to cover it real well. But a lot of stuff they seal a lot more stuff in federal stuff.
Oh. Huh.
Um,
I just had it in my head that when somebody is convicted of a crime, all the details are, well, I should know better. Look at Jeffrey Epstein.
yeah, exactly. So they call it the discovery, Matt. The discovery is basically the good stuff, the ins and outs of what exactly happened, the incident report, you could say, the charging documents, all that stuff. Sometimes they can seal the discovery, and they seal it a lot if you take a plea. 'Cause if you don't take a plea, then that discovery becomes public, right? So if you take a plea, it never becomes public. So, but there's ways around it. I'm really good. I'm really resourceful at getting public records. But I got some of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if you need people to look at your rough drafts, I'd be happy to do that
Oh,
for you.
definitely, man. I'll send you some stuff and see if you can give me some pointers. I'm not real good with video editing software and stuff, so I got a guy who's gonna do all that. But
That's huge. That's
yeah, yeah,
huge.
yep,
I mean, the biggest part by far is having something interesting to say and being able to say it in a captivating way. But
and he
but then but then if the other hard thing is the technical aspects.
yeah,
So if you
and
got
I got
somebody to
somebody
handle the technical aspects and you can get it scripted right, you got to get the script
yep,
written right, you know?
yep, and he's helping me with that. But and the other thing I have is I have a badass attorney. I've always needed an attorney in my life. I've gotten too much trouble. I just keep an attorney. I keep an attorney pretty close. But the legal aspect,
Do you still get in trouble with the law now?
no, not anymore.
Those
I'll tell
days
you.
are those
Those
days are
days
behind you?
yeah, way behind me, but I'll tell you at the end of this, one story about that. But
Okay.
anyways, um, so one of the legal things that I wanted to know, like, and okay, so say I'm reading my script, going over everything, but in the video, I want to be like, say like Ryan Lampers, say he has a hunt, an episode on Gritty, right? And it's a video of him hunting. Okay, I want to take clips of that video, cut out the audio, and then while I'm speaking, do a narration of what I'm talking about. But you can see Ryan in the back on this hunt, because I'm speaking about him, so I want to show a clip of him. Is there any copyright stuff that I can get in trouble with for using that video on my platform if it's even just a clip of it?
I think so, but you'd have to look into it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, your lawyer will be helpful with that. And there's probably some stuff where you can just do an AI, like an AI bastardization of it, like take the original and change it enough that it can't be argued that you're
Yeah.
using copyrighted material. Like we're working. Did you see the T-shirt we're working on? Do you follow me on
Yeah.
Instagram?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I follow
Did you see?
I seen that one with elk. What's his name? The elk shit guy. What's that kid's name?
Dan Stanton.
Dan Staten. Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, we're working on this T-shirt, ladies and gentlemen.
yep. I'm gonna buy one.
And if you buy one, you'll be making a contribution to Hunters for Access.
Mhm.
But yeah, the theme is, it says point creeps across the top.
Yeah.
It's about done now, and then it's just got all these dudes underneath it that cause point creep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Point creep. If you don't know what that is, it's just like in states with for hunts with preference points. It's when
Mhm.
the number of points required to get the license is increasing faster than you can acquire, then you could legally acquire points. So
Yeah.
theoretically, you'll never get the tag,
You
right?
don't
Is
really
that
chasing the tail. Yeah.
yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Um, well, you and I are natural allies, so
Yeah, man.
I hope we stick together. I'm here to
Yeah, that one.
help.
I was thinking maybe after I release these, and then after I do an episode, or even before, maybe after an episode, I could come on. We could talk about it. We could go over it. I would love to talk
Absolutely. I'll put it out on our Instagram. You come back
Yeah.
on and we'll talk about it. Absolutely.
Awesome, man.
I'd
We
be
could go over each episode because yeah, I take it serious for one. Anything I do, I give my all on it. So I'm gonna give 110%. And
yeah, my advice to you, man, well, for what it's worth, is I would do fewer better. Just
exactly,
pour your
exactly.
soul into one until it's
Quantity, not quality,
dialed.
or quality, not quantity.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, and then so one last thing I want to talk about, if that's okay with you.
This is
Uh,
the legal
yeah, the
problem yet?
legal
Okay.
yeah, my legal background, as you said. So another reason, like my inspiration with 1090 Jake, he okay, so other people create media like mine. Like I said, they cover poaching cases and stuff like that.
Man, this one I was on a true crime freaking jag about 6 months ago.
Oh, that's all I'm on right now. For the past year, I've been a true crime junkie. That's the only content and media I consume now is
Yeah, you know what I was really addicted to? Were
what's that?
these courtroom or not courtroom, were these where a suspect comes in that courtroom. A
Mhm.
suspect is apprehended or comes in for questioning, not even apprehended.
Yeah.
And these guys over like some crack investigator, some crack like interviewer
Mm.
wrangles a confession out of them
Yeah.
over like a 3-4 hour period.
Yeah.
You ever watch
Interrogation.
any of those?
Oh, yeah, the interrogations.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, man, those are
amazing
great.
to me.
Yeah,
Oh
those are
man,
great.
they're just riveting,
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
I love all that stuff. I love hearing about people who got in trouble and did a bunch of prison time or whatever, and talking about, how they grew up and went through that and then got in trouble, and then they've turned their lives around, and doing positives in the past. I love hearing about that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so my angle, that's different from these other guys who cover stuff similar to this is I'm not an outsider looking in. Okay. So I have I'm 41 years old, and I grew up getting in shitloads of trouble. I grew up rough. I have a rough background. I struggled with addiction as a kid all the way up into my early 20s. Um, I gotten lots of legal cases and been prosecuted many times, and I did 3.5 years in Wyoming State Prison.
Damn.
Sure, I did.
How
Well,
old how old were you when that happened?
I was 18. So I was
Okay.
18 years old, and I got I got a 2 to 5 year sentence, which is you have to serve 3 years, 9 months. I did it all over though. So I did some in Virginia. They sent me all the way to Virginia. So
Really? Why was that?
they didn't have room in Wyoming, so they do these out of state contracts with other prisons.
Oh.
I had to go to the big boy prison in Virginia and have some pretty compelling, crazy stories there. So that was my rough part. And then I went to Rollins, but then the majority of my time was spent as a wildland firefighter in Wyoming. So actually, I went to Wyoming, Idaho.
Wait,
Uh,
when you were in the prison system you were doing that? Oh, I didn't know the prisoners did that.
yep, it's pretty cool. They do it through the Forest Service.
Oh.
Yeah, it's through the Forest Service. So you basically stay at like the California ones, you stay at a fire camp. And whenever there's a fire, they just shoot you out because you're basically a low minimum classification, so they don't expect you to just walk off or anything on fire. But man, I'm telling you what, I that was even though I was in prison, those were some very fun, memorable years. It was
Oh, everybody I know, I have several friends that
yeah.
were wildland firefighters, and they look back on those years with a lot of fondness.
Oh man, dude, I had insane, great, memorable times. I remember just we were at this fire at a lake, and the fire was it was at night, and it was just going so bad that we couldn't fight it. So we just it was a moonlight, big, beautiful moon. We're perched up on a rock cliff. Down below us is a beautiful lake. The moon glistening onto the lake water, and then this just huge mountainside of a fire. And I'm just sitting there going, like, look at this, man. This is freaking
Just beautiful, huh?
even though it's
Scary and beautiful.
yeah, yeah, man. So I got in, that was when I was 18 years old. I got into just a fight that didn't go good. I should have just been a regular fist fight with a friend I had a falling out with. And I took it too far and threw a beer bottle at the guy and hurt him pretty bad in the face. So they gave me it was aggravated assault, but I pled it down to possession of a deadly weapon, which is a non-violent felony. Even though the context of it was violent, it became non-violent. I pled it down. And that gentleman that I did that to was my best friend during that time. We had a falling out, and he is now one. We are still very, very close. And
Whoa, that's awesome.
yeah, we're really good friends, super good friends.
And he's totally fine.
Oh yeah, man. Our families know each other real well. Like he's just a very good friend.
What a
Very
forgiving dude.
yeah. So I gotten just like I said, struggled with drugs and alcohol, and I was a product of my environment. A lot of people don't think of Wyoming as being anything. I'm telling you, like Wyoming breeds just a different breed of person. I grew up in the oil field, man, roughneck. So roughneck and cowboys, just good old Wyoming folks. Anything shady or anything crazy or intense and illegal to get into, I was getting into it.
And you weren't very close with your dad, is that great?
Yeah, yeah. My dad
Okay.
and my parents. I had great parents growing up. Real good.
Oh, I said you weren't close with your dad.
Worked close?
Weren't. You were close with him?
Very.
When we started talking, you were saying your parents got divorced, and
Yeah,
I just kind of figured you went with your mom and that your dad was absent.
No, my parents got divorced, but my dad was still really close, so I still see my dad always.
Okay.
My dad was always around, and that's who grew me up hunting.
It's a little late in the game to be asking this, but is my audio okay?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the audio's great. So, anyways, I'll get to it. So, I kind of got my shit together late, but I started getting my shit together when I moved back from Denver to Casper because I got married to my beautiful, awesome wife, and then we had our baby boy Gino, and this was around
14.
I started getting my shit 2018. I started getting my shit together around 2015, 2016.
Okay.
So no more trouble. I got in one last trouble in 2015. That was my last time getting in trouble. But anyways, I grew. I guess they say I aged out of crime. I got over my addictions. It wasn't like I got involved in a 12-step program or anything like that. It just went away, man. It was just, I just grew out of it. I did shit to do. I got a career.
Yeah.
Like that. So obviously, since I went to prison, I'm a convicted felon. Okay. And that's, as a hunter, that's something most people, it doesn't bother them because what do you need? If you're not hunting, what do you, and not in outdoors, why not having a gun means that you're not committing crimes more. So it's not a big deal to them. To me, it was a big
There's
deal.
probably people listening that don't know this, but once you're a convicted felon, you can't have a firearm again, right?
Exactly.
And that's a federal law, isn't it? Or is it?
It's federal and state.
Okay.
Yeah, federal and state. So, but each state has different variations of it and stuff. But yeah, it was horrible, man. It sucked not being able to have a gun, but um not having a firearm doesn't mean, like, my wife is not a felon, my kids are not a felon, and so I'm a huge into hunting, and I get my family into hunting, So a lot of people have misconceptions about felons being able to have firearms, and I hate it. And that's another thing that as soon as I establish my platform, I'm going to be an advocate for felons in hunting and firearm and knowing their rights, what they can do, what they can hunt. Because a lot of them just don't know. And if you notice, that's another thing I hated on social media influencing. You have never heard, rarely, anybody talking about being a felon or being hunting. It's like blasphemy if you talk about anything crazy, crimes or anything like that. Oh, we can't talk about that. You know what I mean? It's just they don't talk about stuff like that. There are so many hunters out there that have felony convictions, and
Oh,
it's not
sure.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay. So what I want to make sure I understand here is you're saying felons don't understand their gun rights. What are their gun rights?
so how to get them back?
Oh, there's a process.
Yes, there's a
What
process.
about bows? Can you shoot bows?
Yes, and so that's another thing. Like I want to go over when I get my platform, I would love to go over state by state. But like there's some states like Idaho has ridiculous laws, and I never lived there. I don't know what's going on with that state, but like they're not even allowed to use a bow in Idaho.
Oh,
It, yeah, some states it's because it's a projectile. Felons can't even use a freaking bow. But in Wyoming, so a lot of people think in Wyoming no firearms, no nothing for the rest of your life. So Wyoming has a different law. Like after you complete, say you get probation or you get out of prison, after 5 years from your conviction date or probation date, you have not gotten any more trouble. All you have to do, there is no like getting Congress approval like a pardon. There's just a form that you have to file and you automatically can get them back if you have certain crimes are excluded though, like violent crimes, sex crimes, certain crimes you can't, it doesn't work. And I plan on covering all that. But if after 5 years, you just fill out a form and you get those rights back. So with me, I never paid attention to that stuff and I should have. I'm dumb for it. I just never took the time to do it. But anyways, I'm getting to the point of
why don't you do it now?
I can't now because well, I'll get to that. So
Okay.
the only way I can get my gun rights back. So what I'm getting at to everybody, to the listeners, is I recently got charged and convicted of felon in possession of a firearm, which is
Oh,
considered
this is recent.
yes,
Okay.
very recent. It's called a 922G, and I was charged on the federal level, not state. And so now would have to get pardoned from um, my state violations, my state felony, and that's very possible. And also, but then I'd have to get federally pardoned, which is I don't.
How'd you get busted?
So okay, yeah, I'm gonna get to that story now.
Okay.
All right. So last September, and this is mind you, I have not gotten any trouble or done anything crazy or anything to get me
Since
in trouble.
2015, other than
Yes,
this.
yeah,
Other
man.
than
I've,
this,
I've
yeah.
been a very good boy. But so last year, 2000, no, it was a 2024 hunting season in September. Me, it was me, my dad, uh, my oldest boy, who was 17 at the time, and then a good friend from work. All went on a backcountry elk hunt uh, over in the Dubois region. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Dubois region, but it's thicker than molasses with grizzly bears over there.
DuBois, Idaho?
No, Dubois, Wyoming.
Oh, but there is a DuBois, Idaho too, right?
Is there really?
I think so.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, this was a horseback hunt. We took in our horses, and I didn't have a tag, so it was just I wanted to go. It was a general tag area. I wanted my boss. He's basically kind of like a boss at work. He's from Texas, so I took him because he had enough points to draw, and he drew. I told him to drew, and I allowed him to use me, or I filled out the paperwork for me to be his resident guide, so I could take him into the wilderness. So if you got
Oh, right. Yeah. Because if you're a non resident, you can't hunt in the wilderness areas in Wyoming
unless you
without
have
a
a resident
guide.
guide, so
Yeah.
meaning a resident to take you in. So I did that for him, and so he had a tag. So I was just going, moreover, just to help them, look for, just be on the trip, show them the area. So it was for my son had a tag and he had a tag. So I knew that area was thick with grizzlies. Um, And another thing people should know, as a felon, it is not a lot of people get this mixed up. A lot of people think since I'm a felon that I cannot have a gun you cannot have a gun in your house, which is that's not true. Okay, so my wife can have a gun and my kids can have a gun. The thing is you there's a gray area between constructive possession and direct possession. Um, so as long as and I even have this from the ATF agent who told me this, but as long as their firearms are locked in a safe that I don't have the combination for and I can't access it, then it's okay. So, of course, my wife keeps all the guns that are in my household are all my wife's and my kids. So, on that hunt, my wife is very skeptical about the grizzly bears in the area and taking her son. So she's like, "You make sure you don't get my kid attacked by a freaking grizzly bear." So on that hunt,
That's a
my
reasonable request.
what's that?
That's a reasonable
Yeah,
request.
yeah, exactly, right? So on that hunt, my my wife bought a new Glock 10 millimeter, and she allowed our son to carry it for his protection. And here's here's what the where the bad decision came. This is where I broke the law, and I knew better, and I just made a bad decision, and I'm living with it, and I regret it. But also had another Glock 29. So when my son went down there to go grab that Glock 20, I said, "Bring that Glock 29 too. Bring it." And so he brought it because I don't know, I just felt like I needed a gun on that trip for the grizzly bear, and we were going 12 miles into the backcountry. I've never seen anybody back there. There's nobody at the trailhead usually ever. I'm like, who's gonna know? How am I gonna get caught? Even if I ran into a game warden, he's not gonna see it. So I made the decision to carry a firearm as a felon, knowing I shouldn't have it, but it was for a hunting purpose. I wanted to, for one, I wanted to protect against a grizzly bear, and then one of the other main reasons, it was an archery season. So if we seen grouse, I wanted to be able to shoot a grouse in the head and kill and hunt grouse. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
Have you ever done that? Carry the pistol to hunt birds while you're on it.
Yeah,
While you're
I have. Yeah, I've carried a pistol and bird shot.
Yep, yep. And so, um, I made that decision. We went on the hunt. It was a nightmare hunt. Just I don't know. It was just a cursed hunt. So the first day, um, me and my buddy from work, um, took off. Just me and him took off to go on our own hunt, and we were trying to go up to this high country. And he's from Texas. He's from Houston, so he has very minimal experience with horses. So, I gave him the rundown of how to deal with a horse, how to ride a horse. But I'd say about a couple hours into the hunt, his horse started to act up and started just giving him problems and started to buck on him. But as a horse thing, when the horse starts bucking like that, it's pretty easy to take control of it, grab the reins, start turning around, jump off. He freaked out and tried he had a super heavy backpack on, which he should not have had on. It was way too heavy. I had no idea it was that heavy until I picked it up. But he had way too heavy a backpack on, and he tried to jump off prematurely as the horse was bucking, and he basically fell off horizontal. So he fell off with his body horizontal, and he landed directly on his hip. And right away, he just started screaming, just yelling, like, "Ah, ah!" And I'm just like, "Shit!" So I jumped off my horse, tied up my horse, grabbed his horse, tied it up, and I'm like, "Where? What hurts? What hurts?" And he's like, my leg." And I tried to chill him out, um, but his body was doing weird shit, like going into shock. So I'm like, he's like, "Look at his body, his leg, his left side of his leg and thigh was shaking and like twitching really, really bad." And he's like, "I'm not doing this. It's just doing this." And I'm like, "Shit." So I'm like, "Don't move. Let's we don't know." I'm like, "Do you know if it's broken or anything?" He's like, "I have no idea." I'm like, "Well, let's just wait. We have all the time. Let's see if it's just sore or something." We were hoping we got lucky. Um, and then I tried to stand him up. Nope. We knew something was seriously wrong because he could not stand up. He was screaming pain. So mind you, we're 12 miles. We're 5 miles from our camp, but our camp or we're 5 miles from our camp and 12 miles from the trailhead where our vehicles are at. Um, so trying to calm him down. And then at the point we tried to get him up a couple times. At that point, he had a satellite phone. So I'm like, dude, this sucks, but the only way, the next thing that's next, man, is a helicopter out of here. I mean, what are we gonna do? And there's nothing else we can do. Um, some sheep hunters passed us and helped at least drag him a little bit into some shade because it was super hot that day. So long story short on that one, helicopter came in, medevaced him out that day. He ended up breaking his, I can't remember the name of the bone, but basically his hip, and he was on crutches for like 6.5 weeks. It was bad. It wasn't good. So his first hunt didn't end good.
Yeah.
Got life flighted out of it. So that was the first negative of the hunt. After that, I took the horses, went back to camp, took his stuff, went back to camp. Um, left. No, I think we left one of his bags there, and my dad went and got it later. But anyways, went back to camp, and Neil was like, because at that point I was kind of, I'm like, man, should we just get out of here? This is kind of shitty. But we were like, nope, let's stay and hunt. So the next day, me, my dad, and my son took a horse ride hunt all the way to the head of the basically of the drainage, which is basically sheep country. So we went all the way up there. Um, that day, when we got to the very top of the trailhead, or not trailhead, the headwaters, the horses have been being real cool. We could just water them, and because this is a big open area, this is sheep country, so it's above timberline. There's no trees. So I was just letting them water while we were having lunch, just kicking it. And I thought they'd be okay because there's nothing to tie them to. There's no,
Uh-huh.
and they ended up running off. So
Oh, man.
got 3 horses, mine, my son's, and a pack horse. And my dad was coming up with us, but he was having trouble. He's 72 years old, so he was just taking his time. Well, the horses ran past my dad back towards the trailhead. So in between where we lost the horses and our camp is a big outfitter camp. So I'm praying that the horses go to the outfitter camp. But also another thing is I'm super embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
The outfitters having to catch my horses. So I was super embarrassed about that. And they were also, I had already dealt with the outfitter once, and the outfitter had to help me get one of my horses when I was going to pick my buddy up from Texas at the trailhead. He helped me with one of the horses. So I'm like, two times having to deal with my horses. They're gonna think I'm dude, don't even know what he's fucking doing. So, anyways, since we lost our horses, my dad had the only horse. So he's like, I'm going to try and chase them down and see if I can catch them. Mind you, this is almost dark. It's getting dusk out. So my dad's like, we didn't even come up with a plan. It wasn't even like, okay, I'll meet you here or do this and do that. He just left and went after him. But, instincts know my dad's going to try and find the horses, and we're going to hike the trail back if we don't meet up with him in between. Because it was like 7 miles at this point from where we were at to our camp. So I took me and my son. I'm like, let's just keep walking and see when we're going to meet up with my dad. And by this time it's almost dark. So as we're hiking down that trail, it's almost dark. We're just hiking down the trail, and we round a corner on the trail, and out of nowhere, hiking along the trail, they don't see us, just doing their thing, walking the trail, is a big, big sow grizzly bear with 2 cubs, not 1, but 2, and big cubs. So I guess cubs are smaller in the summer, May and June. By September, they're big.
Well, they were probably 2-year-old cubs.
Yeah, they're big cubs. So this was probably when they're walking towards us, and they're probably at this point 60 to 70 yards, and they don't see us yet. And then my son's right here. I said, oh. And I'm like, get your gun out. Get your gun out now. And I got my gun out, and I said, hey, hey. Started yelling at him. She stands up on 2 legs, sniffs the air. Her cubs take off. As soon as I started yelling, her cubs take off. She gets down. She comes back down on her feet, runs a little bit back towards her cubs, looks back, and then charges. Full bore.
Oh no.
Charged full bore. She closed that 70 yards to 15 yards. I don't. It, the only thing that I can remember is the dust because it was a really dusty trail and all the dust coming up from it. But so this is what I can say, Matt. Even though it's completely adjudicated, everything's already come out. But this is what I am going to say. So as the bear came, no, none of us were hurt. Okay, nobody got hurt, and no bear was hurt. No bear was shot. No bear was hit. No cubs were hit. No injuries whatsoever. No bear was injured at all. Okay, so that's what I'm going to say about that. So after that,
Did you fire some shots, or is that all you're going to tell me? You're saying
that's what I'm going to say right now. That's all I'm
okay.
going to say right now. So we met my dad.
So no person is hurt and no bear is hurt.
No bear was hurt. No person was hurt. It was scary as hell. That's something that very scary. But then again, just so you know, I've hunted in grizzly country most of my life. This was not my first dealing with the grizzly bear. This was my first intense charge like that. I've been growled at and teeth clacked at before, but never had one come full board charge like that.
Just last week I was podcasting. The last time I was podcasting with a dude.
Yeah, that guy shot one, killed one.
Yeah, you listened to that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
He shot and killed one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we go. We were fine. You know, we were very skeptical on our way back, yelling and stuff because, mind you, that bear and those cubs came at us in between me and my dad. So those bears ran down the trail towards where
now he's running towards your dad,
where my dad was at. Yeah,
and towards the outfitter camp.
Yep. And as it got dark, we were looking for my dad. I heard a shot coming from down the trail, and I know the outfitter camp's still miles.
Okay.
So the only person I know that's around is my dad. So I'm freaking out. I'm thinking that those bears ran right into my dad. And I heard one shot because my dad had a 41 mag on him. And with it being one shot, I'm like, that's most likely my dad telling us where he's at. I don't think that's him shooting at the bear. That's just one shot. So we eventually meet up with my dad, and that's exactly what it was. He was getting worried because it was dark to let us know where he was at. He was able to get one horse.
How many were there again? 2.
What's that?
There's still 2 horses at large.
Yeah, 4 horses altogether. There's 3 of us.
Okay.
So I had a horse, my son had a horse, my dad had a horse, 1 pack horse. So my dad had his horse and was able to catch one. There's 2 horses at large. We don't know where they're at. And on the way, we're starting to find shit flinging off of their saddles and shit. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Shit flinging all over the trail.
Yeah.
So, and the horse that took off that we didn't have was our pack horse. So guess what? No sleeping bags, no tent.
Oh, you guys were going to spend the night up there?
We didn't plan, yeah, or at the very top, yeah.
Okay.
We planned on staying up there for a couple days. So nothing. So mind you, this was mid-September, so it wasn't too cold. We built a fire and we were able to manage. The next morning, we got up. Me and just my son went, and my dad took off a little bit later. We found the horses at the outfitter camp. Kind of let them know what had happened because I said, you know, here's why I messed up on that. Here's where the lies started.
Okay.
That was not truthful in the story. And the lies started. I was embarrassed about losing the horses, so I blamed losing the horses on the grizzly bear. I told the outfitter that we ran into a bear, it scared our horses off, and that's why the horses left. And that story just fed the flames of this other lie that I told. So anyways, we find the horses. I told because the outfitter told me, I specifically asked them at the outfitter camp. I said, if no grizzly bear was hurt, if a grizzly bear was not shot, do I need to report it still? And they said no. I said, "Oh," and because that's what I thought. I'm like, if no bear is hurt, if we didn't shoot a bear, if it didn't get hurt, we
I
should,
wouldn't think that you'd have to turn to say anything about that
right? I mean, how many people get either shoot some shots off at the bear or maybe shoot some in its direction?
all the time. People get out of their tent in the middle of the night and shoot in the air or whatever.
Yeah. So I asked him, and he said, "Okay, so that's how I left it."
Now you shouldn't have been, but
Oh, exactly, exactly. That's a different one. So, um, so anyways, we got back to camp. We decided to the horses started giving one of our other horses started giving us issues too. It wouldn't leave camp. We just started having problems with the friggin' horses. So I decided I'm not dealing with this anymore. It's already been bad enough. We're going home. So that was the end of it. Um,
I would say that'd be enough to make me to drive me out of the mountains.
yeah, it
That's
was
a
just
lot.
yeah, it was just a cursed time. I felt like, um, and so I get back home, nothing of it, whatever, a shitty elk hunt. I start going on other hunts. Well, I'm fucking around on social media on one of the Facebook pages or something, and I don't remember. Somebody said something about grizzly bear, and I'm like, yeah, I just got in an incident with the grizzly bear and over by Dubois. And then so the editor of the Cowboy State Daily, he reached out to me, messaged me and said, "Hey, I'd love to hear your story." And I know this guy because he's done one story on me before, because this is a story for another time, but my wife got in a bad hunting accident about 3 years prior while elk hunting. She had a crossbow misfire on her while out on an elk hunt, on a backcountry elk hunt. Crossbow misfire on her and almost cut half her hand off.
Oh,
So
geez.
yeah, it was horrible. So we had to get life flighted.
Oh my God, you got a lot of life flight experience.
$96,000 life flight too. But
96,000?
$6,000. Her insurance paid all of it except 7.
Thank God.
So she got taken to one of the top hand surgeons. We asked the doctor told us there's 3 top hand surgeons, and one of them Salt Lake City, one of them Denver, one of them Los Angeles. So we went to Denver, and that doctor did amazing work and saved my wife's hand. So that's one story. But anyways, that
Yeah.
editor Petey from that. So when he heard about this, reached out to me. He's like, "Man, I'd love to hear that story." And at this time, I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I could tell the story." But what is so what I messed up on is I exaggerated the story, and said things that I had no business should have even said. I shouldn't even done the story at all. But I'll get into it a little. So, like I said that my son had shot at the bear and just barely missed the bear. The bullets were coming up in front of its face and dust was coming up. But I still said that the bear did not get hit. And all I'll say about I'm not gonna confirm or deny right now if there actually was shooting. I'm just like I said, I can't I'm just with the federal thing going, no bear was
Like,
hurt.
wait,
Okay.
so there's still it's still being investigated?
No, it's over. It's
Oh,
100%. But, so I exaggerated the story, obviously, and obviously after that, uh the feds read it. United States Fish and Wildlife Service, which is a federal agency, read the story. When they read the story, they ran my name. And so obviously you see that I'm a felon, but I never said in the story that I had a gun. I just said that my son had a gun. Well, they weren't really concerned at the time. I take that back. I don't even know if they knew I was a felon. They probably 100% did, but that wasn't the subject of their investigation. The subject of their investigation was the grizzly bear. That was it. The main thing was the grizzly bear. So little did I know that there is a federal law that states if you so if you shoot a grizzly bear, say I shot or somebody shot the grizzly bear and hit it, but it either died or it didn't die. There's a federal law that states that you have 5 days to report it. You have 5 days to report it. Okay. So what I didn't know is that they read this to me in the fine text of the statute that even if you shoot at a bear, even if you don't hit it, say you shoot The bear's coming at you, or the bear is kind of coming near you. You want to scare it. You either shoot in the air or you shoot off to the side to scare it. That is called attempt to take. Is you attempt, it's an attempt to take, right? You didn't shoot it because what's poaching is take, right? They say take of an unlawful take of an animal. Well, even is attempt to take is illegal or not illegal, but required that you have to report it within 5 days if you even attempt to take a grizzly bear. So it wasn't reported within 5 days. So what they're reading, if this story is true, we broke the law for not reporting it. So they came and knocking on my door. My wife even told me to. She's like, "You are such an idiot. Why did you even say anything?" Um, so they when I did the article. So they came to my house in November. It was a United States Fish and Wildlife officer out of Riverton and a Wyoming game and fish officer out of Casper. And they came at like 6 a.m. or something.
Jeez.
Yeah, I just woken up.
Middle of the night.
Yeah, I just woken up. So they caught me real early. Because if I was in my right senses, being in all the criminal investigations and all the court stuff I've been through, I know the system pretty well. I'm a smart guy. I know what to do. I know not to speak with police without an attorney present. And that's not just admitting guilt. That's just to help you because just to protect you. But I was out of it because I just woke up. So I decided to talk to them. And I basically told them the story of what had happened. But then when they started asking questions about, um, they started saying, okay, well, because here's the thing, if I just would have told the truth, yeah, that would have been fine.
The problem with this like whole thing is the listener's not going to know what really happened.
Yes, okay. So what really happened, I'll just say, no shots no shots were fired towards the bear. I exaggerated that story to the outfitter to make up the story that's the reason why I lost my freaking horses.
Oh, okay. So you told the
Yeah.
outfitter that you shot at the bear.
Yes, I said
But
that
what you really did is shoot in the air.
one time. One
Okay.
time shot in the air once. And me. So it's like the thing that we had to hide. So when I told that story, I'm like, this is what I'm gonna tell and then I told the story on the freaking news article, exaggerating it, just trying to be a cool guy, like, oh, because I mean, what's so exciting about a bear came, it charged me, I had to shoot off. No, that bear almost freaking killed us, and we were like this close to freaking death, and we had to freaking just about shot it. You know what I mean?
Like you said that your son was shooting at it.
Yeah, I told him that my son had to shoot at it.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Man,
so,
you do have a like an adventurous spirit because like you've all the brushes with the law you've had, and
yeah.
then the day before your buddy gets life flighted out, and you still needed more action.
Yes, I did. So when the feds came to question me, mind you, I don't give a shit about the grizzly bear or the story because I know there's nothing real. Okay, so we didn't report it within 5 days. It's like a freaking misdemeanor ticket. I don't give a shit. The only thing that I'm worried about is them finding out that I had a gun. That's the
Yeah.
only thing, and that's not even their concern. So they started questioning. Their concern is, did you poach a grizzly bear?
Right.
They were, and I'm gonna tell you this, they were 100% convinced in their head that I had killed a grizzly bear and that I was covering it up. And they were just convinced that we had shot and killed a grizzly bear and it was poached a grizzly bear and that I was laying out there dead and we were just trying to cover it up. So when they started questioning me, he started saying, okay, well, we're gonna have to talk to your son at some point and question him about what's going on. And at that point, I knew when they questioned my son, it was gonna come up that I had a gun, and I was not going to put my son in a position where he felt like he was gonna have to lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
child.
That's the right thing.
Yeah, you don't do that shit. I'm not going to do something like that. So when they started saying that, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to end this. I'm just going to end this interview and conversation, and I'm not going to speak with you guys any further until I have an attorney. And at that point, they're just like, okay, well, why did you tell us half the story? And then this is what I said. I said, I want to speak to my attorney. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, the whole grizzly bear story is a complete fabrication. I lied about everything. It's completely untrue. And that's all I'm going to say. And talk to my lawyer. Okay. So they took that as just this guy killed a grizzly bear.
Uh-huh.
You know, this guy killed a grizzly bear. So they left, obviously. A month went by, nothing happened. Another month goes by, nothing happened. I'm like thinking, well, maybe I was naive. Naive. I'm like, maybe it's just gonna go away.
Yeah.
You know? But no. They I was getting ready for work on December 10th. I get in my work truck, drive to work like normal, and I notice as I'm getting off the interstate, caught behind me, flashing lights. I'm like, that's weird. Are they swerving or something? I pull over. And I think it's a normal traffic stop because I only see one. He comes up to my driver's window, and no, he comes to my passenger side window and asks me license and registration and said, "Hey, you were kind of swerving back there. Did you know that?" And I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, license registration." And then as I'm talking to him, I notice my driver's door just swing open. And I look and there's another cop there, and he grabs me by the wrist, yanks me out, and he said, "Come on out with me." He's like, "You're being put your hands behind your back." He handcuffs me, puts my hands behind my back, and it's freezing. It's December, and I'm like, "What is going on?" And then I already knew. I already knew. I'm like, I know. And then I see three more cops show up. So there's
Uh-huh.
like five total there. Sheriffs, uh, Casper PD, unmarked cars. Um, so they put me in the cop car and I said, "Am I under arrest?" And he said, "No, you're just being detained." And I said, "Okay, what is this about?" And he's like, "It's for federal wildlife violations." I said, "Okay, I know what this is about." So at the same time, simultaneously as they pull me over, they are raiding my house. I'm talking raid, probably 15, 16 different cops. They had Casper Police Department. They had HSI, or was it Homeland Security? HSI,
Holy shit.
Homeland Security, FBI. It was
ATF?
HSI. Yeah. Okay. So they had FBI, ATF, HSI, Casper Police Department, Wyoming Game and Fish, and United States Fish and Wildlife Service.
Holy shit.
In full
Your wife
SWAT.
must have been freaking out.
Oh, dude. So SWAT, machine or AR-15s, and a lot of people say that, you'll hear these white collar guys who commit fraud. They're like, they raided my house and they came in with the SWAT team with machine guns and my kills is there. It's it's across the board. Whenever the potential of somebody's freedom to be taken, they don't know what's going to happen, so they have to come in like that. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter
that
what
makes
kind
sense.
you have. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So anyways, who's at home is my wife is sleeping, my my daughter, and it was my wife, my daughter, and our newborn grandbaby. So my wife's daughter, or my daughter's daughter, granddaughter.
Okay.
So they're all three there. They were sleeping. And obviously they pulled them out and they started searching my house, raiding my house. Here's the crazy thing that happened, dude, is as they're raiding my house and I'm up somewhere else being detained in the back of a police car and they're talking to me, all of a sudden I see a cop come running towards me in the back of the car. He opens up the car door and he said, "Get out, get out." And he yanks me by my hand and tells me to get out. And another cop holds me. And then that cop drives off. And another cop drives off. The radios are going crazy. I'm like, what is going on? And they said, we have a shots fired. It's called, "This is not our priority anymore."
Oh, wow.
But guess what? While they were raiding my house, like 5 houses down or like a block away, there was a shooting,
Oh
completely
my.
unrelated. completely unrelated. And my wife said they heard it. They heard like the 5 or 6 shots, and she said it was nuts. But anyways, that was just kind of crazy. But yeah, so they raid my house. They take everything. They take all of our cell phones. They take my computers. They take SD cards. They take uh everything electronic. They take every single one of my wife's guns in the safe, all the guns. Um, all kinds of hunting documents. They take all my research papers for the stuff that I'm talking about. They take all that stuff. So, but I'm not arrested. This is the feds don't really arrest initially. So these are all federal warrants, and they're all in relation to unlawful kill of a grizzly bear. So and then there was also I seen on the thing for felon. They're investigating for felon in possession of a firearm. Um, so I'll try and speed this up, Matt. So during I didn't go to jail. I was just being detained. During the course of the investigation, they found they they for some reason they were not able to get in my phones. But I don't take. It's not like I have pictures holding guns and posing with guns and stuff like that. The only thing that caused them to think, or the evidence that they had of me having a gun, was they went and questioned my buddy who I worked with in Texas about what had happened, and they looked at his phone, and on his phone, when we were riding in on horses, he had snapped a picture of me when I was on the back of a horse, and there's clearly a Glock 29.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's pictures. The whole case went a year, about a year, and the feds work a little bit different. They go by your criminal history. So, depending on what's gonna happen to you, it depends on it's this guideline system, so you fit in a criteria. If you have this many priors, you go into category 1. If your offense is this severe, you're gonna go into this and get this many points.
It's
And
a
then that
rubric of sorts.
yeah, so you go into a bracketing system. So if you have this many points, you're gonna get this sentence. Well, remember, like I told you, I have not been in trouble. My felonies they go by serious crimes if they're newer than 15 years. None of my serious crimes, all my crimes were older than 15 years. For misdemeanors and stuff, they go by 10 years. Most all my misdemeanors were all my crimes were older than 10 years, older than 15 years. I only had one from 2016. So I only had one prior conviction counting against me. So long story short, man, the prosecutor was not many people say this, was can say this, but was very, very nice. She
Oh,
was a she was a very professional, very nice lady. I don't feel like I think that back. She even told us she did not want to prosecute this case. Um, she initially told us they weren't gonna prosecute it, but that how, like, in every crime story, there's always that one cop who's got it out for you, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Cop that was the United States Fish and Wildlife officer. I still think he's convinced to this day that I killed a grizzly bear. I really
Mm.
do. So, he pushed on the prosecutor for her to prosecute it. So, she did. But she even said, "This is not like a crime of the century type of thing." Um, so I was so low on the federal guideline system. The judge even said he's never in his life, as a judge, seen somebody with that low of points. Um, so ultimately, in the long run, I got most people that catch a felon in possession of a firearm, a 922G, minimum of 3 years in prison. It's a max. I was facing 15 years, 15 years, and most of them do a minimum of 24 to 36 months. You're going to go to prison for 24 to 36 months, and I had already accepted. I'm probably going to prison. So for a year, I'm like, I'm going back to prison, and it was just I can't. I don't even want to get into the stressful
Oh, God. Yeah.
because it's not like I'm a man of crime anymore. You know what I mean? That's a way distant part of my life. It's so this is just completely out of left field because they did not make the felon in possession of a firearm law with consideration of hunters. That's not in that lingo. You know what I mean? They don't think about that. the hunting thing, you know? So all this was like new to the judge and prosecutor of hunter being felon in possession. But I got and I ended up with I had a badass lawyer. He just kicked ass and won every motion. I ended up with 1 year of probation, $1,000 fine, and a little tiny bit of community service. I'm
Okay.
here to help speak about it. I regret carrying a gun.
So I got some questions. Why didn't you, in all that time since you got released from jail after 5 years, try to get your firearm rights reinstated?
I honestly didn't think it was possible because I thought that I had a violent felony because of what I did.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But then I found out from the prosecutors and lawyers that technically I do not have a violent felony.
Okay, next question.
Mhm.
This was 2024?
2024, September of 2024.
Okay. So, man, I hoped you learned something about this. Like, I mean, I can understand being embarrassed and like fibbing to the outfitter,
I handled it horribly, Matt.
but like, yeah, that part of your personality that's like, I'm going to tell a great story to the
Yeah.
press.
I have no idea what it's
Do you
I
think
think it's
that
that.
part of your personality is gone, like has grown up now since then?
Oh, a lot. I don't play at all about it because since even before, like, there's very hard for me to I towed the line on shit, you know what I mean? And so the 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 carrying a gun thing to hunt was stretching it. So when I got caught for that, it was like, okay, I got caught doing the one only thing that I do illegal. So now it's like I'm not stretching that line or
Yeah. I
oh,
just, the one, like, I think the
remember how
thing, here's the thing. Like, if I couldn't, I mean, I would be tempted if I was you and I had a criminal history and I didn't have I got my firearm privileges taken away.
yeah,
I would be tempted to go hunt, to get a firearm and go hunting. That's a temptation I would have.
especially in the backcountry.
Yeah, but I would not feel tempted
Exactly.
to tell the press a fabricated story.
I know. Do you remember when I told you I got sucked into the influencer stuff
Yeah,
on
yeah. So
social?
this is
Yeah.
like a remnant of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's me trying. I had all those like the clout, the bragging stuff, wanting to be accepted for stupid reasons.
Yeah, I get that. I get
When
that.
all that was happening to me, I knew it was toxic. I knew it was bad, and I quit. And I didn't want anything to do with any of that social media influencer hunting. But it's like when this happened, like something triggered in my brain or just reignited that bullshit. I don't know
I
why.
think if I had a bear charge me, um, I think I'd want as few people to know about it as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm not
why
gonna
that
say
is. I'm not even sure why I feel that way. I'd be
and
like,
you know what's
one thing is somebody could look at that and go, well, you weren't paying attention to what was going on. If you would have seen the bear earlier,
yeah.
or maybe you didn't do what you're supposed to do, which is lower your head, get
I think
next to everybody else so you look big and walk backwards and all that,
yeah. Yeah, I honestly think we had enough time to get off the trail and hide and let her pass by because she didn't see us.
Right, 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 right.
Walking They were walking with their heads down, just trotting along the trail. I yelled and made sure she's seen us as she's coming.
I've done that. I've done that before myself. I've had the exact same thing happen. A sow and two cubs coming down a trail at me. They don't know I'm here, and I'm like, I'm gonna let them know I'm here. I did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me before. Like I said, I've had numerous grizzly bear encounters. One of the first ones I had was way closer than that. It was raining and came out of a little cedar bush, wet, just coming. I'm telling you, like 25 yards, and they didn't see me. And I yelled, looked right up at me, boom, gone. Just
Yeah.
took off bat out of hell. You know what I mean?
This girl had an interesting personality. She starts following her
Yeah,
cubs and then's like, nope, nope.
yeah.
I'm gonna
And she came back.
yeah.
Um, so I made that. I'm hoping that's something I need to work with deep inside of me to get rid of. I hope it's all gone. I, I I've taken that. That just made me even more like not want to do anything more. Not because I'm hiding criminal stuff on social media, but I don't like putting any hunting stuff on social media anymore because I feel like it's almost like a relapse for an addict. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just completely negative. So I went the entire I did this as an experiment. I wanted to see if what it would be like to go on an entire hunting season because I killed bulls, I killed bucks, and I kill antelope every single year.
Wait a minute. How do you I thought you couldn't use a firearm.
Bow.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you couldn't hunt with a bow in Wyoming.
No, no, no. I didn't get. I guess I didn't finish all that. So in Wyoming, you can hunt with a bow as a felon
That's the same here in Montana. You can hunt with a bow as a felon.
and a crossbow, and also a lot of people don't know this, but in Wyoming, you can also hunt with a modern day inline muzzle loader with a scope, which is basically just a single shot fucking rifle.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Really?
Yeah, you can. You just can't have a violent felony. So if you have a violent felony, you still can't hunt with the muzzle loader. But I don't have a violent felony, so I
Okay.
have the muzzle loader. And I've even got that. That when they raided my house, those are the only things they didn't take was my muzzle.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, keep that shit offline, man. It's bad for you.
Yeah.
It's bad for
Yeah.
hunting too, but
So, anyways, what I was saying though, real quick, is I did an experiment. Is I wanted to when I was getting out of this shit, I wanted to go an entire hunting season without, and I know you already know how to do this because you do it, but I wanted to go an entire hunting season without posting a single kill on any of my social media because I don't ever share shit on IG really, but I do share some stuff to personal family and friends on my Facebook because
I don't think there's any problem with that if it's people you know.
And Facebook is I don't have like 1,200 friends. I have like 300 and some friends. They're all people I know or acquaintances that I know or family. But anyways, I still wanted to go an entire season and see what it without posting anything. And I
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to do that.
Yeah.
See, you know, is hunting still as exciting to you as a person if you know that you're going to kill that giant bull over there and the only person that's going to see it is yourself and maybe your family? Are you still going to have that much fun and enthusiasm for that animal? And I think if it's the answer is yes, then you're hunting for the right reasons.
Yeah. I agree. That's a good place to leave it off.
Yeah, man. I think it was good.
Oh, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed hearing your story, and I look forward to future collaborations. So let's keep in touch.
Yeah, man. Let's collaborate. And if you ever want to have me on again, man, I'm all about it.
Absolutely. All right.
Man.
Enjoy your weekend.
All right, buddy. We'll
All right.
talk to you later.
Bye.